So as you arrive on your mat, begin to deepen your breath. And notice the ways this day has affected you in body, where there might be tension or tightness, where the breath might feel constricted as it travels in and out of the body. And maybe take note of where you are on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of your emotional well being. We're not judging the number we choose, we're just using it as a way of observing ourselves. And that number will help inform how we approach the practice. If there are lots of thoughts running through the mind, see if you can begin to let go of your grasp on those thoughts, even just for this moment, and redirect your awareness to the breath and to the body right now. Let's reach those left fingertips all the way towards the top of the mat and adjust your head so that the temple, your left temple, is onto the mat. And also place a block underneath the head. We'll swing the right arm around the back as much as we can, just coming into a very gentle twist. Depending how you feel, you might kind of fire up that left arm and press the elbow away from the mat, getting a bit more of a stretch into the left armpit. And then we'll switch. Release the right hand, stretch it all the way to the top of the mat. Bring your right temple down onto the mat and swing the left arm around the back. Maybe we're growing active through the right arm, pressing those fingertips down and lifting the right elbow away. And then we'll release the left arm, slide the hands underneath the shoulders, and press the body up into tabletop. That was a pretty long child's pose, so if you need to stretch the legs out, go for it. Finding a little bit of movement. As you inhale, we'll take cow pose, looking up. And as you exhale, we'll take cat pose, looking down. We'll continue to alternate between these two postures, moving with the rhythm of our breath. One more repetition wherever you are. And then uncurl the spine, coming back to neutral tabletop. With your next inhale, let's stretch the right arm out and the left hand. So try to create a flat surface area on the back body. We don't want to arch the back in any way. We'll stay here for 3, 2, belly button towards the spine, and 1. Lower the knee and the hand back down, and then we'll switch sides. So left leg extends, right arm, breathing here. For 3, belly button towards the spine, 2, softening through the jaw, and 1, release. Let's tuck our toes under and press the sit bones back to the heels, beginning to walk the hands towards the knees. Fingertips can be onto the mat or onto blocks here. They can also come onto the thighs. Stretching those feet. And then carefully walk the hands back into tabletop, but keep the toes tucked as we begin to lift the sit bones up into downward dog. Feet are hip width apart. And keeping that action in the belly, so drawing it in towards the spine. And strengthening the arms and the legs to support us. Let's take a few breaths here. Option to move the legs if it feels good, especially for this first downward facing dog. Allowing some time and space for the muscles to remember this position. And then we'll lower the knees and come to stand on those knees. So you can keep the toes tucked or leave them untucked. Let's grab onto our shoulders here, crossing at the elbows. Take a big inhale as we lengthen through the upper body. And as you exhale, begin to lean back, keeping the spine in a tall position. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, leaning back maybe a little bit farther. Inhale, rise up. Last one, exhale. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, relax the hands down and come back to downward facing dog. This time, let's bring the toes a little bit closer towards one another. Use your next inhale to lift that right leg up. You might bend the knee and take a little, or a few rather, big circles with the hip. Changing directions. And then release the right leg. And we'll do the second side. So lifting the left leg up. Maybe bending the knee and choosing a few rotations in the hip. Left toes back down. And we come onto our knees. Again, let's try our core strengthening position. Take the opposite crossing of the elbows. Deep breath in. And use your exhale to lean back. Inhale, come up. And exhale, lean back. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, lean back. Use your inhale to come back. And exhale to lower the hands. Keep the toes tucked and press to down dog. Let's bend into the knees, lowering them almost to a hover. With your next inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, bend the knees almost to a hover. And then straighten the legs. And last one, exhale. Inhale. And then lower the knees and rest for a moment into child's pose. Revisit the breath. Relax those tense areas of the body. And come back to that sense of stillness in the mind. So when you are ready, there's no rush to get there. We will come back to downward dog. Listen carefully to the energy levels in your own body. And if downward facing dog feels like too much, just stay in tabletop. When you arrive in downward dog or tabletop, you can wiggle the hips around, maybe drawing a few circles. And then we'll look forward and begin to walk towards the hands. As you inhale, take your halfway lift, so flattening the back and looking forward. And exhale, round the body. Again, inhale, halfway up. And exhale, round. Last one, inhale here. And exhale to round. And then as you inhale, we're going to slowly uncurl one vertebrae at a time, coming to Tadasana. Start to roll the shoulders, and then the other direction. Press down through the feet and fire up the legs, and making the pelvis neutral. Good. So as you inhale, let's reach the hands all the way up. And exhale, fold over towards the right, stretching the left arm. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, let's fold a little deeper over to the right side, keeping the belly button towards the front of your mat. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, a little deeper. As you inhale, come all the way up, reaching that right hand to meet the left. And exhale, fold a little over to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, a little deeper. Good. Inhale, back to center. Last one, exhale. Deep side bend. Rooting down into the feet, pull the body all the way back up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, a big swan dive forward. So we're stretching the arms out, puffing the chest. Inhale, fingers down, lift up to your halfway, and exhale, fold. And then inhale, reverse swan dive all the way back up, reaching the hands above your head. And exhale, fold to the right. Press into the feet, use the muscles in the low belly. Inhale back to center, just one on each side here. Exhale to the left. Inhale back to center, reach up, look up. And exhale, spread the arms, folding forward and resting the fingertips down. Inhale, take your halfway position and exhale, fold. Inhale, spread the arms, come all the way back up, reaching the hands above your head, look up. Last one here, exhale, fold to the right, press into the feet. Inhale, reach up, both hands. Exhale, fold left, press down. Inhale, reach up. Spread your arms, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up halfway. Place the fingertips down. Exhale, send your left foot back and lower the left knee. Now stack the right foot underneath the right knee. You can stay here or use 2 blocks for the hands. Option also to come into your low lunge, so reaching the arms above the head. Now today we're going to grab onto that left wrist and fold towards the right from here. Come back to center and release. Hands come down, tuck the back toes, step into downward dog. Find your breath. Let's look forward towards our hands. Step the left foot forward and lower the right knee. Stacking the ankle underneath the knee. You can leave your hands down and skip the side bend altogether. Or reach your arms all the way up. We're going to grab our right wrist and exhale, fold a little towards the left. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, release the hands. Tuck your back toes and step to down dog. Deep breath in. And a full breath out. Look forward. Walk your feet forward. Inhale, a halfway lift. And fold as you exhale. Inhale, we're going to come straight up into Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hands to the heart. As you inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway up, inhale. So starting to find the rhythm. Hands come down, left foot goes back, we'll lower the left knee. Staying here with the hands down, or inhale, reach up. Grab your right wrist this time, and exhale, fold towards the left. Notice the difference. Which hip are you feeling? Inhale, rise up, and exhale, hands come down. Inhale, step to downward dog. Full breath out when you arrive. We'll switch sides. Left foot comes forward, stack the knee over the ankle. Option to keep the hands down or to rise up. This time grabbing the left wrist and exhale, fold a little towards the right. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale, hands lower down. Inhale, step to down dog. Full breath out here. We'll stay in downward facing dog for a few more breaths. So press into those hands, press into the feet. And then look forward and walk the feet forward. Inhale, rise up halfway and fold as you exhale. Inhale, come all the way up, reaching the hands above your head. And exhale, hands to the heart. One more, deep breath in, reach up and fold, exhale. Halfway up, inhale. Hands come down, left foot goes back, lower the left knee. Stay as you are, opening up the hips or reach up. This time we're gonna stay in the low lunge. Relax the shoulders, scissor the hips. Try to pull the skin of the belly away from the right thigh. And then release the hands and step to downward facing dog. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Look forward, step your left foot forward, lower your right knee. Stay as you are or come into the low lunge, relaxing the shoulders, gaze straight ahead or up to the hands. With your next exhale, lower those hands down and step to downward facing dog. Look forward and walk the feet towards the hands. Inhale, take your half lift and fold as you exhale. Let's bend our knees, sitting really low into those hips. And then reach the arms up, coming into Utkatasana. So trying to take some of the arch out of the low back. Breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Fold forward, exhale. Inhale, halfway up. Hands come down. We're gonna send the left foot back onto left toes. Bend into the right knee. Keep your left hand down beside the right foot. You can also use a block here for a bit of extra height. And right hand comes to the hip as we pivot, turning towards the right leg. If you're feeling stable here, you also have the option to lift that right arm straight up. Couple of breaths. And then we'll lower the right hand down and the left and step to down dog. Look forward, step the left foot forward, rise up onto those right toes. So get active through that back leg. Option to place a block beside the left foot. Rest the right hand. Left hand to the left hip, and we're opening. Pulling the belly away from the left leg, good. An option to lift that left arm up. Just beautiful. Couple more breaths. And release the left hand. As you're ready, step to downward dog. Let's look forward and make our way towards the hands. As you inhale, take your half lift and exhale, fold. Bend into our knees, reach the arms up, coming into chair pose. Couple of breaths here, relax the shoulders, big smile for 3, 2, and 1. Relax, take a breath or two. And then we'll bend into those knees. Last one, reach up, chair pose. Draw the belly button in. And fold, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, slow, even breaths. Hands down, left foot goes back onto the left toes, lunge into the right knee. So we're gonna work to come to a high lunge variation. So you can rest the hands onto the right thigh or bring them to the hips. So as you inhale, we're gonna straighten through that right leg. And exhale, we're gonna bend both knees. So kind of lowering ourselves down almost to the mat. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, lunge, both knees. One more time. Deep breath in. And full breath out. And then from here, hinge forward, draw the hands down to the mat, and step your body into downward facing dog. You can move through tabletop if that feels more stable. Look forward, step your left foot forward, pop up onto those right toes. Nice lunge into the left knee. As you're ready, you can begin to climb the hands up, hands to heart center onto the hips. Deep breath in, lengthen the legs. And exhale, bend both knees, coming to hover above the mat. Inhale, stretch. And exhale, lunge. One more time, deep breath in. And full breath out. Hinge forward, hands to rest beside the left foot. And step to downward dog, moving through tabletop if you like. Look forward, walk your feet forward. Inhale, rise up halfway, and fold, exhale. Bend into the knees as you reach your arms up into chair pose. Hold it here for 3, keep breathing. 2, and 1, release. Let's step our feet a little narrower than mat width. Fold forward from the hips. You can let the arms hang down. You can use blocks for stability. Bend the knees. Take whatever variation of a resting forward fold feels most accessible for you. See if you can really release extra tension in through the jaw and the neck. Just allowing the head to hang. After one more breath, You can place your hands onto your hips and slowly begin to rise up. Lots of pressure in through the bottoms of the feet and rising to stand. Good. Step the feet in, grab some water if you like. Okay. So here's where our blocks might come in a bit handy. So 1 or 2 are suitable for this first pose. We're gonna work on continuing to feel into the lateral sides of our body. So we're gonna cross our right leg over the left. Depending on your body and how this feels, this is where a second block may feel useful. It sometimes feels a bit tight having the feet both on the floor here. And in that case, you can put one foot on the block on the other side. Spread your toes and press down into both feet as much as you can. Soft little bend into both knees. So let's interlace the fingers behind the back here. As you inhale, press down through the knuckles. And as you exhale, begin to fold forward from the hips. Just for a moment, we're stretching those arms away from the low back. And then releasing the hands and bringing them to rest on the block or the floor at whatever height feels best for you. So in this forward fold, we want to continue pressing our feet down into the mat. The feet can be as close together or as far apart as makes sense for our body. And starting to feel particularly into the left side of the leg, the outer edge of that leg. Let's bring the hands back to the hips and begin to uncurl. We'll take our hands or our arms to shoulder height with a bend in the elbows. So inhale from here, twist towards the right, pressing down into the feet. And exhale, come back to center. Twist to the left, inhale, maybe a bit more space that way. And exhale back to center. Relax your arms and carefully uncross the legs. Give it a little shake. And then second side. So this time we're crossing the left leg over the right. Take a moment here to spread the toes and press down through the feet. You always have the option to use that block under the left foot. Let's take the opposite interlacing of our hands. Reach down through the knuckles, inhale, and exhale, starting to fold forward from the hips, reaching the arms above your head or above the back. And then release the hands carefully, bringing them down to the block. So keep pressing firmly and evenly into both feet and start to feel aware of the right outer side of the leg. If you're feeling any pressure or tension in the knee, just walk that left foot a little bit away from the knee. And then bring the hands to the hips and start to uncurl. When you arrive, take the hands or the elbows to shoulder height. Deep breath in here and exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, come back to center and exhale, twist to the right. Inhale back to center and exhale, release the feet. All right. You can tuck those blocks off to the side for now. Let's step the left foot back to 45 degrees. Traditionally, we aim for heel to heel alignment, but for the purposes of stability, sometimes it's nice to have the feet a little wider apart, hip width. Turn your hip bones towards the front of the mat. And as you inhale, reach up through the arms, look up. And as you exhale, we're folding forward, coming about halfway down. So super active in through the legs here, pressing into the mat as firmly as you can to support the body here in this pose. Try to relax the neck and the jaw. We'll stay for 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. You can take the hands to the mat or use those blocks to support you. Scissor the hips so the right sit bone is pulling back. So as you stay a little bit into this pose, you might find there's space to move down a little bit deeper. And then from here, we're gonna move to revolve triangle. So if you've got a block, great, you can tuck it beside the right foot, right hand to the right hip as we pivot to open to that right side. Try to lift the chest and lengthen the spine. And if you're feeling stable, reach the right hand up. Keep pressing actively into the left foot. And when you're ready to come down, gently untwist. Bring the hands to the hips and push into the feet as we return to stand. Step the left foot forward. And then we'll switch. Let's step the right foot back, finding that sweet spot positioning for you. So heel to heel alignment, or maybe feet are hip width apart. So squaring those hips to the front of the mat and pushing into the feet. Inhale, reach up through the hands. And exhale, begin to fold forward, tucking that left sit bone back behind you. Press into the feet as you reach. We'll stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Vertebrae by vertebrae starting to lower down. Resting the hands appropriately for you on the blocks or the mat. Be aware of any additional spaciousness arriving in that left leg. Don't lose the pressure into both feet. So we'll keep our right hand down beside the left foot, left hand to the left hip as we pivot open towards the left. If you're feeling stable in through both feet, option to lift the left hand. Breathe. We'll lower the left hand down if you had it lifted. Come out of the twist. Bring both hands to the hips. Push, push, push into the feet, pulling the body slowly back up and stepping the right foot forward. Good. Grab some water. Okay, so we're going to take our block or our Bible, whatever you have, and stick it between the knees. So mine is between my knees and my thighs, just because that's how my body is. And we want to make sure that the hips, the block allows our hips to stay hip width apart, or our legs to stay hip width apart. So it might look different for you depending on the width of your body. So we want to squeeze that block super firmly in through the legs. And then bend into the knees. So we can keep our hands at heart center right now if you like. Tuck the belly button in, so we're taking that arch out of the low back. Sit as low as you can go here. Keep squeezing the block. And then we'll rise up, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And lower down. Now from here, let's see if we can take that twisted variation. So left arm onto the outside of the right leg, or left elbow to the right knee, twisting. Now here's where it's gonna get a bit tricky to keep squeezing that block. Breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Come out of the twist, sit low into those hips. Second side, right arm onto the outside of the left leg or elbow. Breathe here, pulling the chest into a twist, squeezing that block. Don't let it drop. And then come out of the twist and rise up. Whew. Couple of deep breaths. Okay, last one. Squeezing the block, bending into the knees. This time we're gonna reach our arms up. Draw the belly button in, relax the shoulders, sit as low as you can, sitting into the heels, maybe even finding space to lift the toes away from the mat. We'll stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Tuck the block off to the side. All right. Deep breath in, reach up through the hands. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come up halfway. Hands come down, left foot comes all the way back, and we're gonna lower onto the left knee. So we're finding a pretty long stance between the right heel and the left knee. And then again, we're gonna climb our hands up to the right leg. Grab onto that left arm and really pull it so that we rest it onto the right elbow. Then open up that hand and stack the right hand on top, pulling the chest towards the hands. Move the shoulders a little bit away from the ears. If this feels okay and stable for you, you can tuck those left toes under and lift the left knee away from the mat. Breathe here for 3, 2, and 1. So if you've got the back knee lifted, lower it back down. Hands come onto the inside of the right leg. We're gonna heel toe that right leg all the way to the side of the mat, the right side. Grab your block or 2 and see if you have the space to rest your forearms down at whatever height makes sense. And if that is just not happening today, no problem, just stay up onto the hands. After a few breaths here, you may find it's accessible to wing out that right knee. Keep the foot flexed for the health of the knee. And breathe. When you're ready, gently draw that knee back in if you have it off to the side. Come back up onto your hands and step back into tabletop and then to downward facing dog. Let's look forward and step the left foot all the way forward between the hands, and we'll lower the right knee. Okay, so again, stacking that left knee over the left ankle. We're gonna climb our hands up to the thigh. Option to stay here, or to pull that right arm or elbow onto the left knee and open up the hand. You might choose to rest your other hand on top and keep drawing the chest towards the hands. If you're feeling okay here, you want to go a little deeper into the hips, you can tuck your right toes under and lift the right knee. Wherever you are, we're going to stay for about 3 breaths. 2 and 1. Gently lower the back knee, come out of your twist, and place your hands onto the inside of that left foot. We'll heel toe the left foot open, grab those blocks if we're using them to support the forearms, and then find your position here. Take a couple of moments to really get into those hips. You also have the option to wing that left knee out a bit. Just make sure you're flexing the left toes or the left foot. Slow, deep, and even breaths here. And then release, drawing that left knee back in. Climb up onto the hands. And push your blocks off to the side and carefully step into tabletop and then to downward facing dog, last one of the evening. Look forward and lower the knees. Shift over onto your hips. Good. Let's take the right shin and line it up with the short edge of the mat. And then adjust the left leg so that the left calf is parallel to the long edge of the mat, roughly. Don't have to get too sticky about this. Okay, so first we are going to start to walk our hands forward here. You may get to a point where you can come all the way onto forearms or even all the way down. So this is a variation of pigeon pose. Just stop wherever you feel a bit of an intense sensation and breathe with it there. You have blocks nearby if you'll find that supportive. And then very slowly begin to rise back up. And then we're gonna walk the hands back on a diagonal. So starting to stretch and open the left inner hip, groin muscles. So coming back as far as feels okay for you, maybe even finding enough space to lower down onto your forearms behind you. Keep the feet flexed to protect the knees. And then begin to walk those hands back to center. And we're going to switch. So you can simply just turn around on your mat. Left shin lined up with the left short edge of the mat, and the right calf lined up with the long edge. So first, we're going to walk our hands forward. So beginning to make your way towards that left leg. Feet are flexed. And exploring the space in that left leg, you may have more or less than the right side. And if you're really not feeling anything at all here, you can send that left leg all the way back, bringing it a little bit straight into more traditional pigeon pose shape. And then slide your hands underneath the shoulders and press the body up. And then we'll walk the hands back on a diagonal, working into that right groin muscles. So flexing the feet, exploring the mobility, breathing into the sensation. One more breath here. And then we'll start to rise up. Good. Bring the feet in front of you. Maybe rock the knees a little from one side of the mat to the other. And then we'll spin around and come to lie down. So from here, grab the knees into your hands and spread them about mat width apart. So you can stay here in this variation of happy baby pose, or reach down for the feet and draw the feet up towards the ceiling as the knees press down towards your rib cage. So either variation is going to provide the same sorts of sensations in the hips. Just choose what's best for you. And then release your hands back down to the mat. Squeeze the knees and the feet together and begin to straighten the legs all the way up to the ceiling. And hold it here. And then very slowly begin to lower the legs down, squeezing them together. I meant to get you to put your block between your thighs here, but kind of forgot. And then release. You can prepare yourself now for Shavasana. Taking whatever props and support you need. Relaxing your limbs. Bringing the arms to rest a little ways away from the body. The legs a bit open. Coming back to that observation from the beginning of class. So we were looking into how the day has affected us in body. Maybe giving it a number on a scale of 1 to 10. Noticing if there's been any little bit of change there. And then the same thing of our emotional well-being today. Where are we finding ourselves on that scale of 1 to 10? And has the practice contributed to a change in that number? Maybe, maybe not. Again, we're just noticing. Try to soften any leftover tension in the body. So you bring the body, mind, and breath into union in the state of stillness. Let's place one hand onto our belly and one hand onto the heart. And begin to expand the breath into those two spaces. Offering loving kindness towards your body and whatever state you find yourself in today. When you're ready to come out of Shavasana, begin with gentle movement, just a wiggling of the fingers of the toes. And you can increase that movement if that feels okay, wrists and ankles, and maybe arms and legs. And when you're ready, you can prop yourself over onto one side. And gently press up into a seated position. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week or later in the week for those of you who are attending many classes. Be well. See ya.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.